to finish that play. And look, here's Weaver comes right in the lane, fundamentally sound, screen the shooter, and a good job to get the rebound.
That's a nice way to characterize, isn't it, the way Washington State plays, fundamentally sound?
It does say it all, doesn't it?
I mean, as a coach, right? That would be your dream.
Right.
If someone would describe your team that way as a coach, what would you say?
Well, well, you'd be proud. Number one, you'd say, you know what, we play pretty good defense. We don't give up anything easy. We don't beat ourselves.
Harmeling hits a three. That's his first of this game. And that's going to get Lorenzo Romar up to take a timeout at 5.5 to go. And it's officially a Supreme Scientific whooping here.
You know, the other thing the Cougars do, Ted, is, and if you watch them play a lot, they give you nothing in transition. You know, teams that are used to kind of going up and down the court and getting some opportunity, Jace, doesn't happen against them. Why? Well, because they have great spacing, floor balance, they get guys back, and they're in perfect position to negate anything you want to do in early offense.
Now tomorrow on Fox, it's the NFC Championship game. What about the New Orleans Saints? Can they do what no Dome team has ever done, win a conference championship game on the road and reach the Super Bowl for the first time ever? Well, the Chicago Bears and Brian Urlacher stand in their way. It all begins at 2 Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific in high definition tomorrow, only on Fox. You know what you hope is, you see Derek Lowe's 20 points and Weaver with 13, is that I hope that the subsequent home games up here that the Cougs get this kind of student support.
Yeah,
it's wonderful to have this be a routine.
Right. Well, you know, obviously it's a rivalry game, so we're all going to come out. But I think from now on, I think they're all believers after seeing this kind of a performance. And to my recollection, Ted, in the second half, I mean, the Cougs are shooting about 65%. I mean, they just haven't missed many shots. So I think the fans will continue to come out. In fact, some of the fans were saying that they were here at 7:30 last night.
The front row next to us, they said they got here at 7:30 last night, lined up outside. And you know what? I don't want to shock you all, folks, but it was snowing here last night. I know that may surprise you.
It was cool.
Clark to Weaver. The way they pass the Cougars is beautiful, isn't it, Dan? Appleby missing. And Clark with the rebound, shoveled it off to Rochester as he was falling.
Well, that's the other thing you notice. Nothing more interesting than a wonderful interior passing team. I mean, a team that looks for each other and makes the good. Arizona's like that. They're off. Guys look for each other and just make the right play. Look at this. Again, little shot, little drop. Ted, it's 71-38. It was 11 at half after Washington made a pretty good run to close it to 11.
Denton rattles one out. Here comes Weaver. And Tony Bennett, I would imagine here, is going to start calling off the horses and maybe emptying his bench.
Yeah, I would think so. Going to back it out, try to get a quality shot. But at this point, obviously, you know, this one's in the bank. Well, the other thing they can do is they spread the floor nicely. You know, now they don't have a post player. You got 5 guys on the outside because Cowgill can play away from the goal. Now a little screen and roll, and you got the right guy with the ball. Decision making.
Weaver.
Boy, you know what? Can't draw it up any better than that. Are you serious or what?
I mean, it's a day you dream about.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if you could play any better than Washington State's playing here this afternoon. I mean, I don't know if it's possible. I mean, this is like, I mean, if you look at this, it's a clinic type of game.
Well, the second half has been utter devastation. How could you possibly imagine any team holding Washington, even without Spencer Hawes, to 38 points?
Yeah, and here again, playing without the ball, moving down the lane, a good pass. Ivory Clark again to Weaver. Weaver doing a good job to run it all the way to the goal. So this has just been, it's been a mastery here in the second half by Washington State.
Dan, you know, we watch these games now in this conference. We watch the depth of talent, and it just kind of whets your appetite, doesn't it? So the bench emptied by Tony Bennett during the timeout. Washington does get it, a 41 with the basket. And that's Caleb in this moment here, is that this Washington team last weekend lost the last second game at Stanford and an overtime game at Berkeley. And they've come on the road to Pullman, and it's been all Cougs. Crazy, right? The honorable Glenn Jones.
He's got a double duty. Well, I don't know if Glenn's aware of it. You better hope that Dick Bennett doesn't run against him.
Jeremy Cross off the bench for Washington State as a junior from Northridge, California. Nelson in the air ball short.
They made a few threes at the end of the first half to get him back in it, but Brockman really was the only one that gave him anything close to the goal. They had not had many opportunity shots, and it's been all Cougars, and really it's been the defensive end that they've dominated the game, and their great spacing on offense, Ted, has given them quality shots.
There's Pondexter in the lane, and is staggering, and for the third straight time in the in-state rivalry, the Cougars of Washington State win it. They stay unbeaten at home. I have a hard time believing they won't be back in the rankings come tomorrow. And at 16-3, each game now that goes by, Dan, each win, they can start dreaming a little bit here about getting back into March Madness.
No, I think they're going to get back into March Madness, and you saw the reason why. Terrific defense, outstanding play by their backcourt and Derek Lowe and Kyle Weaver. So their defense really set
this year, and you got to be happy really for the Cougar fans and really for the Bennetts. I mean, they built this program, and they've got to be enjoying this ride.
Weaver had 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. Another all-around game for Weaver. Derek Lowe, 20 points. I'm sorry to report he was not perfect. He did have 1 turnover.
Well, I don't know if we're going to start him the next game. I mean, he had the 1 turnover, and you look at Rochesty and, you know, guys that came off the bench, and certainly they got great play from everybody. So this was a total team effort. And, you know, if you're a Husky fan, let's face it. I mean, you need Spencer Hawes.